Hi friends, welcome to another tarot-inspired yoga class. So if you're watching this on the day that it comes out, it is January 1st, the first day of the new year. So I thought it was a great time to start another tarot yoga challenge for the month of January. So these classes will be a little bit shorter than what I usually do, probably around 30 or 40 minutes. And each week we're going to focus on a theme to help jumpstart our yoga practice. So if you feel like you've kind of been off your game, maybe you haven't been practicing yoga as much as you'd like to, January is a great time to start something new. So I am here with you to help jumpstart your yoga practice for the new year. So, of course, what's the best card to start with for January 1st? Perhaps the first card in the tarot deck, which is number 1, the Fool. I love the Fool card because it's full of such idealistic energy. It's all about new beginnings and creativity and the excitement you feel when you start something new, right? There's something about that brand new energy that gets us all revved up and ready to start something new. So that will be our theme for today. We'll be moving through, as I said, a little bit of a shorter practice. And since we're working with the Fool, I thought it was a great time to do a balancing class. Focus on balancing and letting go of our expectation of perfection, because you're gonna fall over, you're probably gonna see me fall over, and that's okay. We're letting go of all expectations and just keeping that excitement going about trying something new without the expectation of perfection. So, thank you for joining me today. The props that you might want to use today are 2 blocks, totally optional, yoga mat, and whatever you're ready to wear. So, let's get right into it. Since we're going to be balancing on our toes a lot, I thought it would be kind of nice to stretch out the bottoms of our feet a little bit. So we're going to do a toe stand just for like a minute or so. It's a really great one to stretch out the soles of the feet. So go ahead and sit your hips back on your heels. And there's a couple options for different ways to do this. So it depends on the intensity you would like. So go ahead and try out all 3. First option with the least amount of intensity would be to come up to tabletop position. We're going to send 1 foot behind, tuck the right toes, and just kind of lean your weight forward and back on the toes. Stretching out the bottom of the feet a little bit. Switch out to the other side. It's a good way to start, a little less intensity. If you want to kick it up a notch, from tabletop, tuck both toes at the same time, and then just send your hips back over your heels. Your hands can be far forward, they can be a little closer. The more weight you put on top of your hips, the more intense it will be. So it's totally up to you. You can keep your hands down, you can even do some wrist stretches here. While you're at it, stretch out the toes and the feet at the same time. Toes and the hands, rather. Or for a more traditional toe stand, you again sit up straight, hips sitting on top of the heels, and just sit up nice and straight, gaze forward. Take some deep breaths. Whatever version you'd like to take, doesn't matter which one you choose, just remember to breathe through it. Feel that stretch through the toes and the soles of the feet. Feel free to back out at any time if this is getting too intense. We don't often stretch the bottoms of our feet or our toes at all, so it can be really intense if you're not used to doing this. You can always feel free to put your hands down, lean the weight more forward. 2 more deep breaths here. Inhale, exhale. 1 more breath in and out. Wherever you are, everybody meet back in tabletop position. Slowly let go of the toes and just gently tap the tops of your feet on the mat just to counteract our toe stand a little bit. Just gentle little taps, letting it all go. Beautiful. All right, from tabletop, we're going to go into our first downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Readjust as needed. Pedal out through the feet. Bend and extend through the knees. Sway the hips side to side. Any little movements to help you get comfortable in your downward facing dog. Stretch out through the hamstrings, back of the legs. And when you're ready, just slowly walk forward with the feet towards the hands. As slow as you'd like, you can lift up onto fingertips to give yourself more space. And everyone meet at the front of the mat in a standing forward fold. Bow the head forward. You can keep your fingertips on the mat or grab opposite elbows for more of a ragdoll. If you'd like, you could widen out the feet a little bit more. I like to do so just to make space for my belly between my thighs. Sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable to do ragdoll with the legs too close together because there's just not enough space for the belly there. So feel free to widen out. Keep the knees bent as much as you'd like. Sway side to side, get some movement in. Taking our time to get acclimated to our yoga practice. Whether you're used to practicing every day or you haven't practiced in a month, does not matter. We take our time to get back on your mat. Lower the hands down to the mat and just slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lifting the torso up to stand and meet in Tadasana. Great. I think we're ready for our main flow here. So again, lots of balancing. Have your blocks at the top of the mat if you need them. We're going to go through our main flow once slowly on each side, and then we'll go through it again and move at more of a faster pace in more of a flow. All right, from Tadasana, deep inhale. Gather the energy up towards the ceiling. Micro bend through the knees, lengthen the tailbone down towards the mat. Draw the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, send all that energy back down into the feet, grounding into the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend through the knees and sit down into chair pose, the dreaded uncomfortable chair. Reach the arms out in front of you. Here comes our first balance here. In our chair pose, keep everything exactly the same and just lean forward onto your toes and slowly lift the heels up as high as they will go. Use your core to support you. Try to keep it steady. Inhale. On the exhale, staying up on the toes, slowly extend through the legs. Reach up. Don't worry about it if you fall. Reach, reach, reach as high as you can go. And then slowly lower the heels back to the mat and arms by the sides. A lovely little chair pose toe stand. From here, we're forward fold over the legs, lower the hands onto the mat. And if you have blocks with you, I highly suggest for this first time through, place your hands onto blocks, just about hips width distance apart. Now we're gonna do kind of a toe stand press. This is a great one to use to get ready for handstand, but also just a great exercise to learn how to trust your fingertips. So we are in a forward fold. Feel free to widen out the feet if that feels more comfortable. Hands onto blocks. Gaze forward, lengthen out through the spine. Inhale. On the exhale, we're going to lift up onto our toes, press the hands into the block, claw the fingertips into the block, lean forward so that your fingertips catch you on the blocks. Slowly lower the heels and gaze forward. Let's do that again. Just get used to that movement. It can kind of feel strange the first time you do it. With blocks or not, just totally depends on how it feels in your body. Feet, hips, waist distance are wider. Landing in our forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, look down at the toes. Lift up onto the balls of the feet. Lean forward, press the hands into the block, and claw the mat or the block with your fingertips as much as you can. Feel those fingertips catch you so you don't fall further forward. And slowly lower the heels back down. Move your blocks if you've got them there. Plant the hands and step back to downward facing dog. Stay here in downward dog or move through your vinyasa of choice. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, lift up, back bend. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. And breath out. Inhale, set the right foot up and back behind you. Toes point down. Exhale, knee to nose. Step forward. Stay up on the ball of the left foot. Maybe widen out the feet just a little bit. Keep the feet onto train tracks. Keep your balance. And inhale, lift the torso. Sweep the arms up overhead for a high lunge. Take a moment to lengthen the tailbone down. Bend generously through both knees. Lengthen and reach up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, open out to the left for warrior two. Straighten through the back leg. Bend deeply into the right knee. Reach the arms away from the midline. Crown of the head towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bend a little bit deeper into that front knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up, straighten through the right leg, and turn the toes to face the long side of the mat, facing towards me. Arms up overhead. We're going to move into a goddess pose position. So turn the toes slightly out here. Maybe take a few practice bends. We want those knees to track approximately in front of the toes. So make sure those are going the same way. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees and the arms into goalposts for goddess pose. Do whatever you'd like with the arms here. Sink into that goddess pose. Here comes our next balancing move. You can stay in goddess with the feet planted if that feels better for you. Or maybe challenge yourself. Lift up onto the balls of both feet. Woo, see, I'm already falling. And lower. One more time, let's try that toe stand. Inhale. Lift up onto the toes, balls of the feet. Use that core to keep you steady. And lower the heels, great. Straighten out, reach up, star pose. On the exhale, bend through the left knee. Hands together in prayer. And we're leaning back towards the back of the mat here in skater pose. Now, you may want to watch me this first time through. We're going to go from skater pose to warrior three at the front of the mat. So you're going to use skater pose, that bended knee, to kind of load the spring, launch us forward onto our right foot, and balance in warrior three. If you fall, shake it off, meet us in warrior three. We're not here for perfection. We're just here to try out something new, see what we can do, and have fun. So from here, skater pose, lift the right toes, load your spring towards the back of the mat, Launch yourself forward, the torso facing forward, slight bend in that right standing leg, left leg lifts up behind you for warrior three. You can always grab your two blocks, place your hands on blocks to give yourself some more support and help you balance in your warrior three. Great job. Close the hips, left toes point down. Draw the torso forward. From here, inhale, bend through the left knee. Sweep the torso up and draw the left knee up. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Beautiful. From here, we're moving towards floating bird, which is very much like warrior three, but with the hips open. So with our knee bent, reaching up, inhale. Exhale, send the left leg back, straighten it out. Reach the right arm forward, left arm back. Hips are open towards the left. Feel free to use a wall or a chair to help you balance. Beautiful. From here, we're just going to lower our right hand either to a block or down to the mat. I like to use a block just because of the length of my arms. Lowering into half moon pose. So floating bird is kind of like a floating half moon. And then we just lower the hand down to the mat or a block. Open the chest up towards the left. Beautiful. Gaze down at the right toes. Lean back, bend through the standing leg. Land on both feet. Straighten through the right leg. Kink the hip back, send the right arm up and over for a reverse triangle pose. Beautiful. From here, moving towards traditional triangle. So both legs are straight here. Right toes face forward. Our left hip is kinked back. Reach forward with the right hand. Lengthen through the torso, the right side body. Lengthen, lengthen forward. And then lower the hand down to the shin. Reach the left arm up. You can also challenge yourself by floating the right hand in front of the right leg. Slight micro movement, but a little something more challenging. Beautiful. Lift up out of the pose. Sweep the left arm forward, torso faces forward. Pivot on the ball of the back leg, or back to high lunge. Now plant the sole of the left foot, straighten through both legs, moving towards pyramid pose. So reach forward with the torso, both arms, lengthen forward. Lower the hands down to either side of the right foot. You can do fingertips on the mat, or of course grab your blocks to bring the floor closer to you. Tug that right hip back, left hip forward, and breathe. Beautiful. Bend through the right knee, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Staying here to rest in downward facing dog or moving through a vinyasa of your choice. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, lift up, back bend. Exhale, hips up and back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and deep breath out. Beautiful. Gaze forward at the hands. Step the right foot behind the right wrist, left foot behind the left wrist. Meeting in standing forward fold. Grab your blocks. If you use them for your toe stand press, inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, lean forward, claw the fingertips into the mat and lift the heels. Lower the heels down. Place your blocks out of the way. Bend through the knees and sweep the arms up. Chair pose. Another chair pose, toe stand. Keep everything the same. And just lift the heels. Beautiful. Inhale, slowly straighten. Stay up on those tippy toes. Reach, reach, reach up. Lower the heels. Lower the arms by your sides. Woo, we've made it through side one. Great job, everybody. Let's do that same thing on the other side. Again, we'll move nice and slow while we're getting used to it. And then we'll speed it up, remove some of the repetitions in our second round. So, take a drink, rearrange your clothes, whatever you need to do, and then meet me in Tadasana at the top of the mat. Feet about hips-width distance, slight micro bend in the knees, lengthen the tailbone down towards the mat. Inhale, draw the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, send that energy back down to the feet, grounding into the mat, taking a breather. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend through the knees, chair pose. Slight tuck in the tailbone here, send the hips back, arms reach forward. Beautiful. Another chair pose toe stand. Keep everything the same. Lean forward, lift up the heels, balance on the toes. Inhale, slowly extend through the legs, reach, reach, reach up. Use that core to keep your balance, and lower the heels down, arms by the sides. Inhale, exhale, fold forward over the legs. Maybe grab your blocks, maybe not, totally up to you. Place the hands down in front of you, either on the blocks of the mat. Feet hips width distance. We're doing our toe stand press. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Gaze forward. Exhale, lean forward on the balls of the feet. Claw the fingertips into the mat. Press, press, press down into the earth. Let those fingertips catch you. And slowly lower the heels. Move those blocks out of the way. Plant the hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Moving through your vinyasa of choice. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, lift up, back bend. And exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a breather here. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Send the left foot up and back behind you. Toes point down. Exhale, draw knee to nose. Step forward between the hands. Maybe walk the feet out a little bit farther. Keep your balance. Stay up on the ball of the right foot. Inhale, lift the torso. Sweep the arms up overhead for high lunge. Once again, take a moment. Send the tailbone down towards the mat. Bend deeply through both knees here. Reach the arms up. Inhale. Exhale, open up to the right for warrior two. Maybe widen out through the feet. Bend deeply into that left knee. Reach the arms away from center. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Exhale, maybe bend a little bit deeper into that front knee. Inhale, straighten out through the left leg. Reach the arms up. Turn the toes towards the long side of the mat. Here's where we're getting back into our goddess pose. So turn the toes out slightly. Maybe take a few practice bends. Make sure the knees are tracking approximately over the toes here. Inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale, bend through the knees. Arms in goal post. Any kind of position that makes you feel powerful. Beautiful. Sink the hips down. You can stay here, feet planted, or maybe play with lifting the heels on an inhale. Inhale, lift the heels. Balance on the balls of the feet. And then lower the heels back down. One more time, practice. Inhale, lift the heels, up on the balls of the feet, and lower the heels back down. Great job. Extend through the legs, reach up for star pose. Moving on to skater towards the back of the mat. So hands in prayer. Bend through that right knee towards the back of the mat. We're using the power of the right leg to launch us from skater pose to warrior three on the left leg towards the front of the mat. So let's give it a go. If you fall, just jump right back in. Try not to be too judgmental either way. So back in skater, right knee is bent towards the back of the mat. Left toes are lifted, leaning all our weight towards the right. Inhale. Exhale, launch it forward. Reach the right foot up. Slight micro bend in that left leg. Reach the arms behind you. Lengthen the spine forward. Can always use your blocks under your hands to eliminate the balance aspect. Totally up to you if you want some extra support. Kick that right foot behind you. Toes pointed down. And hips close towards the floor. Great job. From here, we're going to bend through the right knee. Sweep the right knee up and forward. Lift the torso. Reach the arms up. From here, we're moving towards floating bird, which again is like warrior three, but our hips are just open towards the right. So from here, knee lifted. Inhale. Exhale, send the right foot back. Right arm reaching back. Left arm reaching forward. Bend slightly through the left knee. Open the hips up towards the right. Beautiful. From floating bird, change nothing except reach that left hand down either to a block or to the mat. Open the shoulders up towards the right. Keep kicking that right foot back behind you. Hips are nice and open. Inhale. Exhale, bend through the left knee. Look down at the left toes. Lean back, landing on both feet. Beautiful. Extend through both legs here. Kink the right hip back. Reach the left arm up and back for reverse triangle. Inhale here. On the exhale, moving towards triangle. Send the left arm forward. Reach the torso out towards the front. Lower the left hand down to the shin, or maybe float it in front of the shin. Reach the right arm up. Shoulders are open towards the right. Triangle pose. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up out of the pose. Swivel the right arm forward, torso faces forward. Maybe walk the feet out a little bit. Moving towards pyramid pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, lengthen forward with the torso, and lower the hands to frame the front foot. Always the option of grabbing your blocks to bring the floor closer to you. Tug that left hip back, right hip forward. Great job, everyone. Bend through the left knee, move your blocks, plant the hands, send the right foot back, move through your vinyasa, inhale plank, lower through chaturanga, inhale lift, exhale hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Gaze forward at the hands. Step the left foot forward behind the left wrist. Right foot forward behind the right wrist. Grab your blocks if you'd like. Place the hands on the blocks. Send your weight forward, lift the heels, claw the fingertips, toe press, lower the heels, move the blocks, sweep the arms up, chair pose, lift the heels, straighten through the legs, reach, 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 lower the heels, arms by the sides, Tadasana. Woo! Great job, everybody. We made it through our first few rounds. Now, if you'd like to join me, we're going to do that one more time with less repetitions, more of a flow with our breath. Now that we've gotten used to it, we can move a little bit faster. Feel free to grab a drink before we start. Otherwise, go ahead and meet me in Tadasana. Take a moment, settle your breath, feel your heart rate, feel that heart beating, working so hard. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bend through the knees, chair pose. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, straighten, reach, reach, reach. Lower the heels, arms by the sides. Fold forward, using blocks or not. Press the hands down, lift the toes, claw the fingertips, and lower the heels. Plant the hands, step back, move through a vinyasa of your choice, and meet back in downward facing dog. Right foot up and back, knee to nose, step forward, reach the arms up, high lunge, inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach up, turn the toes towards the long side, goddess pose. Bend through the knees, goalpost arms. Maybe if you'd like, play with lifting the heels and lowering them down. Reach up, star pose. Here we go. Skater pose, get ready to launch. Sweep the arms forward, launch forward into warrior three. Beautiful. Bend through the left knee. Send it up and forward. Kick the foot back. Floating bird. Lower the right hand down to the mat or a block. Half moon pose. Beautiful. Lean back. Land on both feet. Reach the arm up. Kink the left hip back. Reverse triangle. Reach, reach, reach forward. Lower the hand. Triangle pose. Left arm reaches up. Gaze to the left. Sweep the arms up forward. Make some more space for pyramid pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Over the front leg for pyramid. Beautiful. Bend through the right knee. Plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Move through your vinyasa. Meet in downward facing dog. Gaze forward. Right foot steps forward, left foot steps forward. Sweep the arms up for chair pose. Lift the toes. Ooh, we forgot one part. Lower the feet. Plant the hands on blocks. Press into the hands and lift the heels for our toe press. Lower back down. Now we're ready. Sweep the arms up. Chair pose. Lift the hip. Lift the heels. Extend all the way up. Lower the heels. Tadasana. All right, let's just go straight to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Bend the knees, chair pose. Lift up onto the toes. Stretch all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. Lower the heels. Lower the arms. Forward fold. Plant the hands on blocks or your mat. Lean forward. Lift the heels. Claw the fingertips. And lower back down. Plant the hands. Step back. Downward dog. Move through vinyasa. Everyone meet in downward facing dog. Sweep the left foot up and back. Knee to nose, step forward. Sweep the arms up. High lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, open up. Warrior two. Inhale, extend up. Toes towards the long side. Goddess pose. Bend through the knees. Go post arms. Maybe lift the heels. Balance. Lower back down. Sweep up, star pose. Here comes our launch. Skater pose towards the back of the mat. Press into that right foot. Launch forward. Warrior three, beautiful. Sweep the right knee up. Send it back for floating bird. Left arm forward. And lower the left hand. Woo. See, it fell over. Lower the left hand down for half moon pose. Open up towards the right. Great job. Look down, bend through the left knee. Lean back, land on the feet. Kink the hip back. Reverse triangle. Reach, reach, reach forward. Lower the left hand. Triangle pose. Sweep the arms up and forward. Set the feet up for triangle. Pyramid pose, excuse me. Reach, reach, reach forward. And frame the front foot with the hands for pyramid pose. Beautiful. Bend through the left knee. Plant the hands. Send it back. Downward dog. One more vinyasa. Let's do it. Plank pose. Chaturanga. Back bend. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Gaze at the hands. Left foot forward. Right foot forward. Plant the hands on the blocks. Send the heels up. Lean forward for a press. Lower the heels. Sweep the arms up. Bend the knees, chair pose. Lift up onto the toes, balance. Straighten out through the legs, reach, reach, reach. This is our last time, keep reaching, keep reaching. Lower the heels. Arms by the sides. Woo! Great job, everybody. That was a difficult flow, so give yourself a pat on the back if you made it through. I know, I am covered in sweat and ready for a cool down. So let's do it. Any way that feels natural. We're gonna sit down, maybe through a yogi squat if you'd like. So widen out the feet, toes point out. Bend through the knees and sink the hips all the way down. One hand behind you and sit down on the mat. However you can get there. Go ahead and lower down onto the back. Bend the knees, hug them in. Maybe make some circles. Beautiful. We're gonna go through some supine twists here. So send the hips towards the left and lower the knees down towards the right. Reach the left arm out to the left and enjoy a moment in this gentle twist. Not trying to force everything, just giving our body a nice rest, maybe a little detox from all those opening poses. Just kind of curl in and enjoy the twist. When you're ready, lift the knees back up. Scooch the hips over towards the right and lower the knees towards the left. Reach the right arm out to the right. Sink into the twist and just breathe. Enjoying a gentle twist after all that hard work. We really explored some different poses, a different way to move. Lots of toe tip balancing, which is really, really hard, so props to you. Whether you fell out of it or you didn't, you did the work. And that is what is important. Lift the knees back up, center the hips, reach the feet up towards the sky, bend through both knees, send them out wide for a happy baby. You can grab behind the knees here or the outsides of the feet. A nice little hip stretch to end our class. If it feels good, you can rock left to right. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the mat. One of my favorite hip stretches. Let go of the feet. Draw the knees in, hug them in close. One more time. And from here, we're going to just set up for our Shavasana. If you'd like to use any props for your Shavasana, feel free to grab them. A blanket for underneath your head, a bolster behind the knees, maybe a blanket to cover you if it's a little cold where you are. Otherwise, just let the feet flop out to the sides, arms reaching out, taking up space, and close your eyes, enjoying our final resting pose of the practice. You can stay here as long as you'd like. And before we drift off, I just want to thank you for joining me today for day 1 of our Tarot Yoga Challenge. And I hope to see you again soon. Take as much time in your Shavasana as you'd like. And I'll see you next time.